Hi and welcome everyone. I'm Friar Tuck. This is my epoch, and on this channel we talk about homeless education and awareness. And what we're going to be talking about today is Pillar 1, getting the homeless off the streets. Okay, if we're going to end homelessness, we're going to have to, the first thing is to create options where there is no way for people to be on the streets. You know, there is always a place for them to go. Even if they don't want to be inside there, it's a place to go, I guess. You know, because some people, we get institutionalized as we've been out here. A lot of you think that, oh, I'm going to talk about housing first, and that's really not what's going to happen. I'm not going to talk about housing first. What I'm going to be talking about is the first pillar in my 4 pillars to end homelessness. Now, if you've watched some of my older content over the last week or so, or maybe just go back in my videos and watch what I've been doing to get a better understanding. But what we're going to be talking about is Pillar 1. And, you know, if we're going to get the homeless off the streets, if we're going to go ahead and we're going to start making positive strides towards ending homelessness, what is it that we can do? All right, and the Pillar 1 is the donor class. That is the people that give small donations, one-time donations, donations to the homeless, corporate donations, any money or anything like that that goes into the homeless industrial complex or directly to the homeless. That is the donor class. So you were probably part of the donor class, and you are the most important part of not only perpetuating the problem, but also the most important part of creating the solutions, because a more educated donor, a more educated consumer is going to be a lot more powerful than someone that just gives because of name or something like that. Because places like United Way and Red Cross, 20 cents of every dollar makes it down to the people you want it to. And does it go towards the program that you wanted it to go towards? Okay, being able to do direct donations directly to the organization is one, it's going to be more effective, but it also allows you to get to know the organization. Maybe call up, ask some questions, ask for their numbers, ask for different things that would help you understand what it is that they're doing. After reading their website, don't just call up blindly, read their website, and then from their website, see what they do. Because like when I went and read Ayana's website, I understood that she actually is a faith-based program. I did not know that at first. I knew she was faith-based, but I didn't realize that she had a couple of programs going that were faith-based. So with that being said, you need to go to the website. You need to read what it is that they put out there. What is their mission statement? And then you may want to ask the hard questions like, okay, how is your way going to work to effectively end homelessness? Or look at it and say, is this the type of organization that is looking for repeat customers? And so therefore, we don't want repeat customers. We want people to get off the streets and stay off the streets and to be able to have healthy, happy, productive lives. Okay, so if a drug rehab program has a 95% failure rate, why would I want to give to that? You're probably the best you're going to find is anywhere from a 10 to 15% success rate, which is still sucks, but at least it's doing more to curb the problem. And so therefore it's just like when you're hiking, every ounce counts, every tenth of a percent does count, especially when you keep doing a downward spiral, because 5% success rate versus 10, I mean, that's double the success rate, which means it's now going to dwindle it down. Okay, there's other things that need to be done, but it all starts with the donor class. And the reason why it starts with the donor class is because you guys are the ones that give the organizations the money that they need to be able to offer the services to the homeless, because you may not know what the homeless need, but you want to give to an organization that you think does know what the homeless need. And this might be something else that I recommend, because some of the stuff that you can do really isn't going to cost you money. It's going to cost you a little bit of time. It might cost you getting out of your comfort zone. Talk to the local homeless. What are the services that you're not getting? What is it that you need? And then when they give you the answers, ask why. You want to understand its importance, because to you it may not be important, but it may be very, very important. or it may be very unimportant. You have to make that decision based upon, you know, the feedback that you get, but you don't know what you don't know until you talk to the people who do know. Okay, so talking within the homeless community, within your community, is extremely important, so that you understand where the shortcomings are, what is just there for sustainment and is never going to actually do anything effective, and what are some ways where you can put your time, effort, and energy, and possibly even money, into an organization that is going to make positive and effective changes, because they are taking a sensible approach that is having a higher than average efficiency, therefore creating, because they're going to be getting the attention and they're going to be getting the dollars, it now forces all the other organizations to adopt and improve if they want to move forward. Okay, so through competition, this is one of the things that our founding fathers was telling us, is that the reason why we have the several states is because each state is its own incubator where it can test things out, and if it's good there, then the rest of the states will adopt it based upon competition. If it's not, it will not infect the rest of the union. So this can be done on a grand scale or on a micro scale. Okay, this is part of the rules and mechanics of the universe. As much dogma as we want to put around it, this is part of the rules and mechanics of the reality in which we live in. Okay, so going in, volunteering within your local community is extremely important. Why would you want to go do it in your local community? Why aren't we doing it on a national scale? Well, there was a big fight way back when the Constitution first started between nationalists and Federalists, and the nationalists were monarchists, which is what we actually called the Federalists, and Jefferson and so on and so forth. Okay, but I'm not going to get into that. The thing is we had a debate between whether it should be done on a national level or whether it should be done on a community level, and we decided it should be done on a community level, and that worked well for us for so long until globalism came in, and we got so fat, happy, and comfortable with all the new stuff that was coming that we forgot the consequences of our actions of globalism. But as globalism crumbles, we are going to see the recoil of the attention back to the community. And so therefore it's important even for you, this is the start of moving it back to the community from the national level. So you know who your national representatives are, but you do not know who your mayor is, who's your district manager, who in politics. And I'm just as guilty of it as everybody else. We know our national politics. We see the big picture, but we never take the time to understand that each piece within a community moving is what contributes to the big picture on a grander scale. So if you can do it on a small scale and prove effective, then it will be noticed nationally and internationally, because look at what Finland did. Look at what Houston is doing. Houston has become the model to fix homelessness right now, okay? Because they're housing people like crazy. They just decided to do the whole housing first initiative there, and they're just housing people like crazy. But they can do that within their community. Is that actually a solution within your community? Will that actually prove positive results, or are these individuals going to go from making a mess out on the streets to destroying property by being destructive in their own dwelling, and therefore reducing the overall property value of the building owner versus something that's going to be more effective? Because we also got to look at the preservation of property, because that is probably what the homeless are most guilty of, is destruction of property, just because of the messes and the graffitis and all the other crap that goes on there. Okay, so this is how we're going to get people off the streets, is volunteering within our local community, asking questions within our local homeless community. Okay, we're going to give our time, and when we find a place that is really that we see being effective and doing a good thing, okay, because we all have our own different measures of what we expect. And ask yourself this: is it making a positive change, or is it sustaining? Is it something that needs to only be sustaining, or is it something that needs to be a positive change? Okay, food is something that needs to be sustaining. So you need to look at that organization, because the organization that you volunteer at is probably going to be the organization that you may give funds to help them out with their budget, because not only are you reducing their dependency and their need on hiring somebody, because in a lot of these soup kitchens it's all staff. There's rarely, like, some groups come in once a week and stuff like that, but not very many individuals or groups come in. It's mostly staff that's doing it, and therefore it causes the more money to go towards staff versus being put into being able to buy more food. So there is a cause and effect to all of this. So this is a way to be able to help your not-for-profit, your homeless services out locally, and also give to the ones that are effective. And you may want to do more than just one, depending upon the amount of time in which you have. But you guys know how to help me out. As part of what I do here, I'm supported by crowdfunding. That's memberships on YouTube and Patreon, and that's my tip jar down in the description, plus my affiliate links. What I really ask for those of you that just want to be able to help in the best way you can is make sure that you share this video with your friends and family. That way this information starts becoming more widespread and becomes common knowledge among those that are in part of the donor class. So don't forget to share, and I'd love to hear your feedback down in the description if you think I missed something, so on and so forth. Thanks for being here, guys.